Hi YouTube, welcome to another edition of HorrorHands, and today I'm out in HorrorHands Woods. So I thought while I'm out here in the wilderness, it'd appear a cool idea to go through my Bigfoot, Sasquatch type movies. It's a subgenre of horror that I really enjoy, and although a lot of them are quite low budget, I rather like the ambience of them, sort of being out in the woods and out in nature, that kind of thing. So I'll go through the ones that I have. So the first one is actually a contender for my favourite Bigfoot movie, and it's Abominable. This stars Matt McCoy as this wheelchair-bound guy. He's out in the woods and he starts to get attacked by this Sasquatch. And there's also a group of women in the cabin next to him. They get attacked too. So together they have to fight off this Bigfoot Sasquatch type creature. But it's a really cool film. I like the characters in this, and it has some great practical effects. I really like the look of the Bigfoot creature in it. He's really cool. So one that I really enjoy, one that I would definitely recommend, is Abominable. Okay, the next movie is a Asylum movie. Their movies usually aren't that good, but this one I did kind of enjoy, and it's Bigfoot. So it's very silly, it's really over the top CGI, but it's a fun film. It's one of the more enjoyable Asylum movies. It does have a couple of decent people in it as well. You've got what's his name, Bruce Davison, he's in this, and also Alice Cooper makes an appearance as well. So not great, but still enjoyable. Okay, next movie is Bigfoot, The Lost Coast Tapes. This is like a found footage film. A group of researchers go into the woods to investigate Bigfoot, but what they find is something a little bit different, and that's all I'll say about this one. This one gets mixed reviews. I know a lot of people don't like this one that much. They think it's a bit slow, and a lot of people don't like the sort of bait and switch stuff that goes on in this, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good, and I didn't quite see the ending coming. So yeah, this one definitely not for everyone, but I enjoyed it. Okay, next up is a triple feature. This is Box of Bigfoot. I really like this DVD. It's got some interesting stuff on. It's got The Barbaric Beast of Boggy Creek, The Capture of Bigfoot, and Legend of Bigfoot. And these are all low budget 70s movies. Barbaric Beast of Boggy Creek and Capture of Bigfoot are just tacky 70s Bigfoot movies. Legend of Bigfoot, if I remember right, it's kind of like a documentary style film of this guy who's in search of Bigfoot. It's really, really cheesy, and it's more corny than anything, but it's an interesting kind of little documentary into this guy searching for Bigfoot. I really enjoy that one. And then I have Box of Bigfoot 2. Same kind of thing with this. Very cheap, low budget Bigfoot film from the 70s. This has got Snow Beast, Curse of Bigfoot, and Beauties and the Beast. And again, these are just three really low budget Bigfoot movies. I mean, you can see there that middle image. That's kind of what you're getting. But again, like I said at the beginning of the video, I enjoy the aesthetics of these movies and the scenery, if you will. It's probably a bit strange, but it's what attracts me to these movies a lot. Okay, next one is Creature from Black Lake. This one, if I remember, it's these two people that are searching for a Bigfoot creature, and I can't think what. I'm sure they find him, or else it wouldn't be a movie, but I don't remember much else about this one, other than, again, it was pretty slow, but I like the ambience of this, I like the scenery, everything like that. Okay, next up is Exists. This is another found footage film. Some students go camping in the woods and they get attacked by Bigfoot. It's pretty much simple as that, really, but it's done kind of like Blair Witch style, but instead of supernatural, it's it's Bigfoot coming after these guys. This one was really good. I enjoyed this one. It was very well done. Don't know if you'll like it if you're not into found footage, but if you are, definitely check out Exists. It's a pretty well made movie. Okay, next up is In the Shadow of Bigfoot. This is another kind of Bigfoot documentary. Very, very low budget, really low budget. Probably one of the most low budget of the Bigfoot films that I have, which is saying something. But this sort of just plays out like they do a lot of filming around the woods and in a few sort of rural territories, and they interview people who may or may not have seen Bigfoot or saw something out on a hunting trip, that kind of thing. There's some scenes supposedly of Bigfoot, which I'm sure is just a man in a suit. I know it's a man in a suit because it's so unconvincing, but again, it's just a really interesting sort of window into this kind of Bigfoot culture that's still quite prominent in America, and this one's really rare. I never see this around. I can't even think where I got this from, but really interesting documentary. Okay, next up, one of the most famous ones from the 70s, The Legend of Boggy Creek. I really like how they do this. It plays out half like a documentary and half like a movie, but it's a really good film, to be fair. It's very low budget. If I remember right, I think this was commissioned by the local sort of tourist company and the government to try and attract people to come to the town of Boggy Creek or wherever it's filmed. I'm sure I've not made that up, but it's again another really interesting sort of documentary, like docudrama. They interview people that may or may not have seen Bigfoot, and they like recreate some Bigfoot attacks that people claim to have happened. So yeah, really good stuff. Okay, next up is Sasquatch. This stars Lance Henriksen. I don't remember much about this one. I didn't like it. It was very slow. So yeah, not much to say about this one. But this is Sasquatch, which stars Lance Henriksen, and then I have this one. This is Sasquatch Mountain, which also stars Lance Henriksen. This one I remember much better, and I enjoyed this one. I thought this was a really good film. This is about these bank robbers who escape into the woods and take shelter in this cabin, but they are stalked and killed off by a Sasquatch creature. And yeah, again, really good stuff. It's trying to think if Lance Henriksen's like a hunter guy in it. I think that sort of has to fight back, but it's pretty good. It's pretty scary in places as well. It gets quite intense, this one does. So yeah, I can recommend Sasquatch Mountain. So there's Sasquatch with Lance Henriksen, which I didn't like, and there's Sasquatch Mountain with Lance Henriksen that I did like. Okay. One of the rarest movies I have, I think it's still the case, I haven't looked for a while, and that's Shriek of the Mutilated. So this is about a professor and his group of students. They go into the wilderness to search for Bigfoot, and they start to get killed off by this Bigfoot creature. It's really, really kind of tacky and low budget, but I really enjoyed this. I thought this film had a lot of charm, and the Bigfoot creature does look terrible, but it made me smile seeing it on screen. And to give this movie credit, it does have a twist ending which I did not see coming, and in a way it kind of validates some of the poor effects that are in this film, and that's all I'll say. It's quite a rare film to find, but if you like low budget filmmaking, I highly recommend Shriek of the Mutilated. It's good stuff. And then next up, getting into Yeti territory now, we have Yeti. This is just one of these more modern, like sort of sci-fi type movies. It's from the Man-Eater series. This is a group of students. They're plane crashes in the snowy mountains, and they are hunted and killed off one by one by a big Yeti creature. It's not a bad film, but it's very CGI heavy, and I kind of prefer the more sort of 70s style kind of type of these movies really, but it's not too bad, it's alright. And then the last movie I have is Yeti, Giant of the 20th Century. Again, this is 70s, I think, really cheesy stuff. If I remember right, it's a bit like a King Kong story. They find this giant Yeti creature, take it back to the big city, it breaks out and causes a lot of chaos. Very, very low budget movie. The Yeti doesn't look great, to be fair. It's like a man in like a giant fursuit, but I still have fun with it. It's not too bad. If you enjoy the other 70s films on this list, you'll probably get a bit of excitement from this one. So that is, I think, all the movies I have around Bigfoot, Sasquatch, the Yeti, that kind of thing. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. If you have any other sort of Bigfoot movie recommendations, please let me know. I'm always looking out for more. So thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.